Hey, what's going on, everyone? All right. I was checking out some stuff on TradingView here, seeing how their live stream was going. A lot of people are liking more of the live stream on YouTube and Twitter and Facebook. So we're going to stick with that. I'm going to stick with what you guys want. All right, let's get into the market here and head over to, let's go over to our zone scanner. Bring your zone scanner up onto the screen. And you can see here that we've got the supply zone column on your zone scanner. There's more contracts there. So that leads me to believe that market sentiment is going to be more to the downside today. So let's just refresh the charts here and we'll go right over to, let's go over to copper. Okay, let's go over to copper because that is a metal and we want to look at the metals market first because the metals market opens up at 8:20 a.m. Okay, so let's take a look at copper and see what is going on here. Okay, yeah, so we just ripped through this high time frame. This is the 4-hour demand zone. So we just broke through a 4-hour demand zone. That's pretty powerful, okay? TrendCloud right here. TrendCloud is down on the 15-minute chart. It's down on the 1-hour chart, okay, and momentum is down just the whole way, okay? So we are looking at, let's refresh everything, take all those drawings off. Okay, so we are looking at some type of a retest of that opening range. I can see right away, right here, okay, we do have, right there, we do have a drop-based drop right in the middle of that trend cloud. Price pulled back and hit that zone right at 8:15 in the morning. Okay, so are we too late on this? You never know. You never know. So let's just go through our process here, and we just hit that first ADR checkpoint. If you've got the TrendCloud trading system, if you've got the entire system, guys, then bring that up on your chart and take a look at that ADR checkpoint there. Frank Savino in the house. What's going on, Frank? All right. I just pulled up the comments here. Hey, Gary, how's it going? Yeah, a lot of time. Yes. All right. No problem, man. That is why I'm here. We straightened everything out, didn't we, Gary? Good job. All right. So bring up that ADR checkpoint there, and you will see that we've just hit that. Now, we're hitting that checkpoint with a lot of force, right? I mean, we've got all 3 time frames, okay? All 3 time frames are in a very early downtrend, right? Because there's 5 waves in an average trend. And once you hit that 6th wave, 7th wave, the candles will turn ice blue, okay? So right here, we were actually on the 1-hour chart going down 7th wave. And what did it do? It pulled all the way back, closed above that 50 simple moving average, right? That's the line in the sand on that trend cloud. So price pulled back, recalculated because it closed above the 50 simple. And that's what price inherently wants to do when it becomes extended. So, hey, what's going on, guys? What's going on? Faduka, what's going on, my friend? Ticker on copper is HGH 2024. right up here, HGH 2024. And what I'll do for you guys is, let me see if I can pull this up. I'm going to pull up the CME report. Let me pull that up for you guys right now. Here we go. Let's see if we can do this. Okay, let me put this in the chat. Now we won't get we won't get banned for putting stuff in the chat. Okay. Oh, look at that. So if you click onto private chat comments, I put that into the comments. I don't know if you could see that. Can you guys click onto that link that I just put into the comments? Let's see. I might have to put that into the chat for you. Let me see if private chat. Let me see here. Okay. You can. Okay. Yes. Oh, gotcha. Okay. You have to go to YouTube to click onto that. Oh, interesting. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So that is the CME report, and that's going to give you the latest contract. Okay. That's going to give you the latest contract. Let me see if I can bring this over here and share that so that I can show you. If you click onto markets, okay, and it's going to show you the actual contract, current contract for the futures. Okay. All right. So check that out. Let's get back to this here. So we're bouncing off of that ADR checkpoint. We are bouncing off of that ADR checkpoint, and we're early in this trend, right? So 5 waves in an average trend, and we're bouncing off this ADR checkpoint. Let's look left here. Yep, we are below all of that. We are below all of that. Here's the market edge right here on the 4-hour chart. And you can see that's pretty far away, right? So we've got a nice, target down there, okay? We've got a nice target. We've got lots of room to run, is what I'm trying to say. Will it get all the way down there? It would have to break through all these ADR checkpoints. So it's interesting to see what is going to happen here. Let's bring up the opening range on that 15-minute chart. And we've got a really nice level on top of a level here, don't we? On that opening range here. We've got drop-based drop, okay, right here, right at the top. And we've got a rally base drop right here. So, my goodness, from there to there. What the heck do we do here? Well, we can definitely take the retest of this. Let's jump over to the 5-minute chart and see if we got any, and we sure did. And we sure did, yeah. So if we were looking at this a little bit earlier, do you see here, guys, do you see how when just from that one little adjustment, Gary, you should have the ADR checkpoints. That is, if you go to your indicators, go to invite only, and you will see TC ADR checkpoints. If you don't have that in your invite only scripts, You should, though. You should have that. Well, let me know if you don't have it in the invite-only scripts, and I will send that to you as soon as I get off from here. But you should have that. But look at how that one little adjustment, the one little adjustment inside of our zone scanner, okay, that we adjusted, right? This is inside of the new trade plan, guys. So the 2024 trade plan, no worries, Gary. I will make sure that I grant you access to that, and we'll make sure that it's on your chart. I might have added that later to the TrendCloud package. Guys, whenever you purchase TrendCloud, if I come up with a new indicator or I add something to the program, you will automatically get it. Okay. So I added the ADR checkpoints to the trade plan. So if you don't have it, let me know and I will grant you access to that. But whenever you purchase TrendCloud, if you purchase the whole system, then you will receive anything that I build from here on out. Okay. So that's just an added bonus, because if you purchase the TrendCloud system and I'm using or adding something to it, you will definitely get that. Okay. So I decided to run things that way because that's what, the 2024 trade plan. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely, guys. Gary, I will definitely get you that as well. Now, the 2024 trade plan is also on a Canva document. So when every quarter, I update that document. So make sure you save that somewhere, because it will automatically update on your end as well. It's really cool. So if you have the Canva document with the 2023 trade plan, if you click onto that, you'll see that it has been updated to 2024. It's really cool. So if you guys don't have that, you can sign up for it. You can sign up for it on my website. And that is chrisgiuliano.com. If you just go there, you can sign up for the trade plan. Okay. Now, what are we going to do with copper? All right. Are we going to make some money with copper today? Well, we had the perfect opportunity right here. Okay. That was at 8:20, right at the open. Right at the open. Okay. Let me blow this up. Right here. Okay. Do you see how, because copper was on our scanner, with the new adjustments, these 5-minute TrendCloud signals are working out incredibly well. Where is the entry point here? Let me clear everything off and show you how to enter this trade. Right here. Here's your first signal right at the open, 8:20 in the morning. Right there. One tick below the candle that formed the arrow. The stop loss goes right here. And what did we do? We got into the trade right at this candle. And where's the target? Boom, right there, ADR checkpoint. Okay. That's a lot of money, guys. Okay. So if you take a look at what that would look like, copper is very expensive. Okay. Let's sell right here, and stop loss goes right there. Do you see how that's pretty expensive? That's $375. Let's break it down. One. Okay. So we wouldn't be able to afford 2 contracts of copper, because in this live trading room, okay, in this live trading room, we're going to assume a $20,000 account. okay, and take a look at the account history here, all right? $20,000 account, and in the last 5 days, we made over $1,000 right here, okay? My objective and the objective of TrendCloud is to get you guys consistently profitable in the simulator. Okay, if you can't be consistently profitable in the simulator, how are you going to do it in a live account, right? So this time that we spend together is going to be dedicated to the getting everything straightened out in the simulator, okay? That's what needs to be done first. And during my demonstration yesterday, I accidentally entered a trade. So this minus $2.50, that's a boo-boo. That is an accident, okay? We're doing very well, and this is all TrendCloud signals, open range breakout, and also momentum trades. Okay, so right here, this is working out very well. What was the target with one contract? $325. Okay, so you risked less than 1%. We risked less than 1%, and we made $325. Okay, almost 2 to 1, right? Now look at how we always set 2 to 1, right? We always set a 2 to 1 target, and we have right here, that is your 2 to 1, okay, 375. And look at how close it is to that ADR checkpoint, okay? And if we jump over to the 15-minute chart and we look left, there's nothing there. See that there, when you don't have any structure, when you have to scroll all the way back, okay, and there's no candlesticks there and there's no structure, these types of targets come in handy very, very well, okay? Because if you're just using structure to take targets, well, what if there isn't any, right? What if there isn't any? That's when, and which is why I added the ADR checkpoints. ADR stands for average daily range, okay? All right, let's shut off this scrolling banner here. So if you don't have the trade plan, just go there and sign up. I will send it to you right away. Okay. So we missed the momentum trade. So next time, if you're looking at this, and remember the most ADR, yes, average daily range. So if you look at this, you'll see the first target, right? First average daily range here. See this? It says 42%. 42% and 100%, right? This means it went 100% of its average daily range. So copper has hit its average daily range. 42% means it has a 42% chance of getting to the next line, okay? This is 125% of the average daily range. It has a 23% chance of getting to this line, okay? It just puts things a little bit more in perspective for you to say, oh, well, you know, is it going to rip through all of this stuff? Well, it kind of just mentally, it kind of gives you a little bit more of a mathematical perspective on, you know, when this thing is going to, if and when price is going to move to the next ADR checkpoint, okay? And so that's why I added this to the trade plan. Very useful stuff. And look, we're bouncing off of it now. We might be heading back to the area here Okay, let me get rid of that and let's box this out again. So it's bouncing off that first ADR checkpoint and it's heading back to this rally-based drop, which is right inside of that 15-minute trend cloud. Okay. Let's put the opening range back on there. All right. And maybe we get another shot at this. We are pulling back into this demand zone, okay, as we are cycling down on the high time frame. Momentum is down on the high time frame. Momentum is down on the middle time frame. And we're in a downtrend across all three time frames. So we've got a great chance of getting into the retest of the opening range here. Now, that is on the short-term chart. If it breaks through this, it might go to this part of your 1-hour trend cloud right here, okay? Because what does price like to do? It likes to impulse down. In this case, we'll use the high time frame. You see, in this case here, impulse up, pull back into the trend cloud. Impulse up, pull back into the trend cloud. Impulse up, pull back into the trend cloud. You see? So, and it did it once already here on that high time frame. Impulse down, pull back into the trend cloud, impulse down, okay? So trend cloud gives you a reference point as to where price is going to go. So right there, let's see if we can get into this trade now. So if we pull back, we are going to pull back into this area. Can it break through here and go up into here onto the 1-hour chart? Yeah, it can. It can definitely do that. But you know, you're never going to know. You're never going to know. So what does that tell you? It tells you better take the proper amount of risk, right? Now, copper is very expensive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the body of this candle here for my entry point, sell 1, and that's $150. Okay, so that's $150 that we can risk, and we've got a great chance of this working out. Right now, we would have made already. We already would have made $375 if we were up a little earlier. I should really get into I know what to do. I should really start this earlier. But you never know. You'll never know, right? You'll never know when this is going to happen. But yes. So at OTA, right, at Online Trading Academy, which is now called Trading Academy, they changed their name, Gary. I don't know if you knew that or noticed that. On the Globex trap here, we are using what's called ATR, which is average true range. And we are over 75% on that Globex trap. So 75% or more means that it's become exhausted, kind of like what we've got going on here on our trend, right? The trend becomes exhausted at that 6th and 7th wave. With the Globex trap, the ATR becomes exhausted around 75%, and what they teach over at the Trading Academy is once you get to 75%, this thing might start to reverse. Okay. So it's just another way of looking at the market, and it also boxes out the overnight session. Sorry, didn't have my coffee yet. Okay, All right, so we're just waiting here now. So we've set this up, we've set this trade up, and that is all we can do. We can just set them up and see what happens. But we are pulling back into this area here, okay, with enough force to make a move to the downside. All right, what else is on here? Platinum just showed up. Let's go over to platinum and see. Okay, platinum here, pretty strong to the downside. Very strong movement to the downside. Aha. But look at what's going on here. Okay. Now we've got an extended trend. Okay. And all these signals are still working here, even on the hourly. I mean, look at this move on the hourly chart. That took place 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm not up at 2 o'clock in the morning, although yesterday I was, because I was editing videos for you guys. But right here, all these signals have been working. Okay, so the 5 minute, the 5 minute opening range, or I should say the 5 minute trend cloud here, didn't produce any signals, right? But it moved really, it moved a lot, didn't it? No signals produced. Why is that? It didn't pull back far enough for this thing to, it's kind of like pulling a bow and arrow. You have to pull that string back pretty far to a certain point in order to make, that arrow fly. So this thing just took off and never pulled back into the trend cloud. How about on the 15-minute chart? Okay, 15-minute chart is definitely showing us a drop-based drop right here. And what would that cost us? Sell one. Oh, we've got a lot of lag here now on, there we go. Okay. Stop loss right there. Okay, so that's a $200 move. That is a $200 move. Why don't we bring this up here? We actually have a better, risk on this platinum move, don't we? We actually have a better risk to reward on this move here on platinum. That could be a $500 move. Let's take a look. ADR checkpoints, and it's heading for that. So if we get a pullback into platinum here, we have a really nice chance of making that ADR checkpoint. We've already hit the ADR on copper. We've already hit the ADR checkpoint on our copper trade here. But this thing is just taking off. This is just taking off here. Okay. We'll let this run. We will let this run here. The blue lines. Oh, yeah, blue lines here. This is the blue lines, Gary. This is the opening range, right? And you can see here, this is the opening range breakout. Let me turn everything off so you can see clearly. So this candle right here on copper is a 15-minute candle. And when we're looking at the metals market, we're using the 15-minute opening range. Okay, if we are looking at the energy market like gold and natural gas, we're going to be looking at the 5-minute opening range. Okay, we'd be looking at the 5-minute opening range. So I represented that with blue lines for the 15-minute, purple lines for the 5-minute. Okay, we're getting a pullback here now. Hit that, pulling back. I reduced my risk here, okay, by taking the bottom part of that candle. Let's put Fibonacci on here. swing high to swing low. And look at that. We've got an 886 retracement level right inside of this opening range. Oh, I'm sorry, a 786 and an 886. Okay, so this would be a deep pullback. If we hit that 786 line, that is a Fibonacci level. Okay, now we do have the previous day's low, and it's bouncing off the previous day's low right now. So this thing broke through the previous day's low and is staying below it. Okay, as it's just hit that that ADR checkpoint. If we get into this trade, guys, we're only going to have one contract. So we're going to take this trade for a 2-to-1, right? We're going to take this trade 2-to-1. So that would be the target right there, and it would be right at that that 2-to-1, that previous day's low. It would be right at that point. So let's set the other one up as well. On platinum. See, we've got an even better risk to reward here. Much better risk to reward. Pulls up. We would take that Fibonacci from here to here. And we've got the 618 and the 786 right in here. And we are just above that 886 checkpoint right there. Okay, just above that 886 checkpoint. There we go. So we've got that. Now, being that copper and platinum kind of run in the same direction, what you would want to do is take one or the other, right? Because if one fails, most likely the other one is going to fail too. So what we could do is, being that copper has the better risk to reward, I'm sorry, platinum has the better risk to reward, you would probably just want to take one. For the purposes of this live room, we'll leave it on. We'll leave it on. Just so that we could see, because maybe one will hit and the other one won't, right? You never know. You never know what's going to happen. The idea is I want to have as many examples as possible, but still stay within the, you know, the trade plan. All right, let's see. Okay, it is 9:36. Let's check out the open. We've got no indexes up here as of yet. The NASDAQ is flashing back and forth here between up and down, right? It is flashing back and forth here. It looks like it's trying to break to the downside. The Dow is, we've got a long on the Dow here, but the NASDAQ, if the NASDAQ is trying to break to the downside, it means that it might be really early. It might be a really early move. Oh, we are extended again though. Okay. Blue candles on that 1 hour chart, guys. So we are extended on that trend. We are extended on that. And if this is trying to break to the downside here, we're going to have to wait because we have mixed signals. How did you get to the previous day's? What was that? How did you get to the previous day's low on your chart? Oh, Yes, previous day's low is already on your is your opening range tool. So go to your opening range tool right here, Gary. And when you put that on, it should populate on there. If it doesn't, go to that little gearbox and you'll see right in here, daily, open, high, low, close. Make sure that is on. Weekly, open, high, low, close. And monthly, open, high, low, close. Okay, if you have all of those on, then it's going to populate those on your chart. Okay, and you see this right here, Gary. It says show only one previous open, high, low, and close. Make sure that's checked, otherwise you'll get a whole bunch of lines on your chart. So just make sure that's checked as well. But all of that is on your opening range breakout tool. So NASDAQ here. And you see, this is how the opening range forms on your chart. The NASDAQ is an index, so the chart will automatically put this yellow line and box out the candle. This is the 15-minute candle, and it's going to box that out automatically, right? So we don't have to draw lines manually, on our charts anymore, especially if you have that TrendCloud system. You won't have to draw any of the lines anymore, okay? So everything is going to get boxed out on your chart automatically. And it looks like we're pulling back into right now, right? We're pulling back into this drop-based drop on the 15-minute chart. Will it go further and come all the way up here? It usually likes to retest these areas. That's why I put that on there. I love seeing previous day's close, previous day's low. If you've got that on your chart, it's going to be very powerful, because sometimes, like right here, it runs right in between, right? It runs right through your supply and demand zone. Look at the rejection off of this supply zone here on the 15-minute chart. Let's see, not on the chart. If it's not on the chart, if it's not on your chart, Gary, then it's something inside of that opening range tool. And let's see here. If we click off of show labels, nope. Show only one. It's got to be this up here. Style, lines. Okay, so make sure everything in style. I turned off the, oh yeah, there you go. Yep. I know that one got programmed defaulted to having all the lines and stuff. But man, look at that rejection off of that supply zone there. So the opening range, you will see the lines form. Okay, you'll see the lines form right at 8:45. 8:45, 15 minutes into the opening range, and you'll see lines form right here. So the opening range is going to be somewhere from here to here on this candle, because we only have like 3 minutes left here, okay? But we've got to see the direction first. We are extended into this trend to the downside. So what does that mean? It means we might have a really deep pullback right above that 50 simple. And if we break above that 50 simple, well, then we've got ourselves a recalculation. So it's going to recalculate somewhere up here on that hourly chart. Might not be the best instrument to go after. Let's go over to crude oil, because that is up on our, okay, that's up on our scanner. Now, what did crude oil do today? Opening range, we're looking at the 5-minute. Wow, okay. So again, crude oil showed up on our scanner right here, 8:55 in the morning. We've got that TrendCloud signal to go short, and beautiful move to the downside. Okay, so we basically would be out of this trade right now if we took that TrendCloud signal right here. Stop loss would go right there. Nice move down. Okay, definitely made 2 to 1 there. Now, at that moment in time, let's take a look. We were pretty much, we had mixed signals here, right? We had all of this was produced just now, okay? But right here, do you see how that line right there, okay? Let's get that vertical axis. You can see how momentum was still up on the middle time frame. Momentum was still up on that middle time frame, and trend is up on the middle time frame as well. So we've got momentum against us, but we've got momentum with us on the highest time frame. So highest time frame always takes precedence, but we really like to see the perfect conditions. Guys, you got to remember, when you're using techniques like this, we're using this stuff for short-term rapid growth. And if the conditions aren't perfect, okay, if the conditions aren't perfect, you've got to walk away from the trade. You've got to walk away because you cannot mess around with maybe it'll work. You know, you can't mess around with that type of attitude and expect to get, you know, these types of results. Okay, you can't mess around with that. There's a book. I'm always with my books, right? It's called The Book of Five Rings, right? And in the Book of Five Rings, this book was written 2,000 years ago. Doesn't that blow your mind? What the heck is this? Okay, sorry, John, but yeah, you're out of here. Okay. John McCory. Yeah, no thanks. Okay, let me get rid of that. Okay, so when you take a trade, guys, you want the trade to be perfect. You want the trade to be perfect, okay? And you've got to have that attitude if you're going to take short-term rapid growth moves, right? Long-term, when we accumulate stocks, it's different. But when you're in the futures market and you're already leveraged to the hilt, okay, on your money, you've got to have the perfect storm. You've got to have the perfect storm, okay? Why does the red arrow, let me see here. Why does the red arrow pop up after the 5-minute candle closes? Yes, so the trading signals here, okay, the trading signals will pop up when the candle closes, because the mathematical equation at work here inside of the TrendCloud, it's a mathematical equation that's saying if the candle closes this percent away from the TrendCloud, then produce a signal. Okay, so it's going to produce the signal when the candle closes. It will flash on and off until the candle closes. Oh, okay. Oh, when when the candle closes. Yeah, yeah. So as the candle is forming, Gary, you will see this arrow flash on and off. Yeah, you'll see it flash on and off, and you'll say, "Oh, okay." And it will also show up on your scanner as it's doing that as well. So you saw how the NASDAQ was sort of flashing on and off in the scanner. That's the algorithm deciding where it's at that moment in time, right? Because these are just mathematical equations, right? They can only do what they're programmed to do, and as they're moving, it's it's going up and down within that candle until it closes, and then it has a definite coordinate to work with. Okay. So now, what do we have here? It is cool. Gary says, cool. Yeah, it is pretty cool stuff. What's even cooler is when you start figuring this stuff out, and you start to pile this on top of each other, and you see, you see all of these algorithms sort of working together. And that's what a trade plan is, okay? So what we're doing is we're stacking the scanner on top of the opening range, on top of the momentum, which is also the trend across multiple time frames. You stack this stuff on top of each other. Yes, it is a lot to look at. Yes, it is a lot to look at. That's why we have to be very objective in the trade plan, and we've got to color coordinate everything, right? So if we color coordinate everything across multiple time frames, it's very easy to see, like simple, green and red, okay? High time frame, red candles, red trend cloud. Okay, got it. Middle time frame, green candles and upward momentum. Mixed signals. Mixed signal. No good. Walk away. Okay. So, so even though crude oil is popping up here in our in our scanner, you still have to go through your process, right? Because this is still a mathematical equation. It's still working, right? It's still working through its process. So you still have to go through your process. So we've got mixed signals here. Let's get over to agriculture, guys. Let's go over to agriculture, and let's take a look at, we've got wheat here. Let's take a look at wheat and see if it gave us those trend cloud signals. Okay, good. And there it is again, guys. There it is again. Okay, so right here, we do not use the opening range on agriculture. Okay, that is only for, that's right, Javier. Yeah, gives reassurance when you take the trade. 100%. 100%. Yeah. Reassurance, doing it over and over and over again, right, Javier? So in the simulator, right, you want to treat that simulator as if it were a live account. And I was telling you about the Book of Five Rings. which was written by a samurai back 2,000 years ago. And he says in the book, he says, the only way to kill a man in battle is to kill a man in battle. The only way to learn how to kill a man in battle is to kill a man in battle. And I laughed at that because I was like, wow, that's so true. So if you relate that to other things in your life, you know, like normal civilian life in present day 2024, if you like mixed martial arts or you train in martial arts in any way, you want to treat your sparring as if it were a real fight, you know, to a certain degree, right? And if you're trading, you want to trade in that simulator as if your life depended on it, as if your life depended on it, right? So with Online Trading Academy, I would take supply zone and demand zone and still get stopped out. Okay. All right. So if you're getting stopped out, Javier, then what you've got to do is you've got to go over and you've got to write those out. You've got to write out, and I have a trade plan for you. Sign up for that trade plan, and inside the trade plan will be video lessons on how to choose those supply and demand zones, the strongest supply and demand zones. Okay, that's why we programmed the zone scanner up here, and that's why we use multiple time frames. Okay, because you can't just take every supply and demand zone, and that's the one thing with Online Trading Academy, especially if you're a beginner. What you can't just rely on supply and demand zones alone, right? There's a process. Did that supply and demand zone break through structure? Do you have momentum and trend on your side? Sometimes, they only look at trend. They'll say, okay, trend is down, so we're going to start looking for supply zones. That didn't work for me. That didn't work for me. I needed a little bit more. And every year, what I would do after I went to Online Trading Academy back in 2014, and every year I would find another mentor to train with, and I learned something new. And I learned how to stack these indicators and just stack technology on top of itself. And what you come up with is a more comprehensive trade plan, okay? And so in this particular case, like with the extended trend, I don't know if you've ever heard of Elliott wave, but this guy really studied Elliott wave, and he came up with this system where, after the fifth wave, he would walk away from the trade, right? So when you get to the fifth wave in a trend like we have right here, let's take a look at it, okay? And let's just count it real quick, and let me show you. So we've got 1, 2, and you can see it's being counted here, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're in the 9th wave here. We're really extended. We're really extended here. Okay, so what you want to do is just be mindful of that. And if you are getting stopped out on your supply and demand zones, it's more than just looking at a supply and demand zone and saying, okay, I'm going to take this, or building yourself up, with confidence that I drew the zone, I'm going to take it, right? There's more to it than that. You've got to look at what zones failed and what zones worked, and you've got to write those out, and you got to study the data. That's hard, okay? That's back testing. What I found, okay, was if I took a supply zone, like in this particular case, Javier, if you see that, let's just turn this off for a second. If you see this here, okay, the pullback that took place into this supply zone, right? The pullback that took place into this supply zone took place in a downtrend, number one, on the 1 hour chart. It took place in a downtrend on the 4 hour chart. So we have a downtrend and a downtrend across multiple time frames. All right, great. This pullback also took place with momentum to the downside as well. Okay. If you get pullbacks into any type of supply zone, and this momentum filter here, this CCI indicator, is not below negative 100, and this is you can find this on TradingView. It won't exactly look like this. This is a modification of that CCI indicator that I programmed. But if this isn't below negative 100, holy cow, you want to walk away from that trade. And that's what I found, Javier. If you start taking your supply zones in this case, and make sure you're looking at the trend and the momentum just on that higher time frame, that 1 hour chart, your trades will win exponentially. Okay, you will have more wins because you're filtering out these trades. You've got to filter out more. Learn to filter out, and you'll be a lot happier. Okay, so that one major piece of the 2024 trade plan that we're using here, and look, I mean, here's the results here, right? The last 5 days, over $1,000 in the last 5 days from trading the micros. Okay, from trading the micros. And what we were doing is we were taking these supply zones when we were below negative 100. Okay, and I go over that in the course. But the CCI indicator basically shows you, okay, the CCI indicator shows you whether or not you're in a strong trend. Why wouldn't you have that on your chart, you know? Like, why would you not put that on your chart? It is so useful. It is so useful. So CCI stands for Commodity Channel Index. Okay, it stands for Commodity Channel Index, and it was invented specifically for the commodities market. Right, Richard Lambert back in 1980, mathematician. He develops the CCI indicator, and it works phenomenally well, and he becomes famous for it. Right, so here we are pulling back into this supply zone now. Now, is this supply zone fresh? It's really not, is it? This supply zone is not fresh, right? So, whoops, sorry guys. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. Had a phone call. Okay, so it was pulling back into here, and this zone is not fresh. So you know, is it the perfect situation? No, right? Because the sellers have been eaten up here, right? Supply and demand zones are an imbalance between buyers and sellers, right? It's an imbalance between buyers and sellers. So so again, on wheat here, if we put on our TrendCloud, you can see that the TrendCloud signals worked out beautifully today. Okay, everything worked out beautifully. What do we have here? 5 o'clock in the morning. We've got some signals at 5 o'clock in the morning. And all you have to do, guys, put that trend cloud on your chart, grab the vertical line, and just back test it yourself. It takes 5 minutes. It takes 5 minutes to look at that. Here's the line. There's your trend cloud signal. Are you in a downtrend? Yeah, that lines up. Are you in a strong downtrend? Yep, right there. CCI indicator, right? It went below 100 here, pulled back into that blue shaded area. As long as it stays below that zero line, right? All through in here, you've got yourself a strong downtrend, and you've got yourself the okay to take those supply zones. What else do we have? We're cycling down. We're in a downtrend on the high time frame. And at that moment in time, momentum is also down. Red across the board, color coded, red across the board. Take that trade right there. When you get to this point, it is now 7 a.m. And remember, 7 a.m. to 11 a.m., you've got the strongest moves. Okay. It is just about, it is 10:04, and we're getting that, we're coming into that 10 a.m. reversal, right? It's the 10 a.m. reversal here. Take the zones that are in the middle of the, yes, that's right. You take the zones that are in the middle of the 50 SMA with the momentum and cycle. That is 100% correct. And when you do that, make sure you're in the perfect situation. Is this the perfect situation? Look how it just ripped through that zone. Okay, on the 5-minute chart. Go back out to the 15. Where are we at on wheat here? Okay, it's pulling back into the 15-minute trend cloud. And it looks like it has jumped off of our scanner here. Yes, 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern. That's 7 to 11 Eastern. That's where I was doing my back testing and found the strongest moves. Let's go out to the 4-hour chart here. What are we running into? Okay, so we do have this right here. We are in. We're at the. We're low on the curve, right? We're low on the curve here, and that's what we're running into. Momentum has shifted to the upside on wheat. Okay, and we're making a bounce out of there. But we're still early in this trend, right? We're still early in this trend. But do you see how TrendCloud got us in on that 5-minute chart early in the day, right? 7 o'clock in the morning, if we took that trade right there, we would have made money. We'd be out already. So really important to look at your zone scanner early in the morning. And Javier, make sure on the zone scanner that you've got everything updated here. All your, you have to update these manually, right? All the contracts. And what we're looking at lately is this, the 15-minute trend. Okay, the 15-minute trend, we're lining that up with the 1-hour momentum. Okay, when you have these values, when you put the 15 and the 1 hour, it will produce very nice signals, okay, on your 5-minute chart here. And those signals are working out very well, okay? So I'm going to make sure that I get on this earlier tomorrow for you guys, so that we can start to take some of these trades. So it's actually returning to the original signal in this consolidation here. It's returning all the way back to those TrendCloud signals, and this should be green. I'm sorry. There we go. All right. So there it is, guys. Let's look at let's look at some more here. Wheat pulling back. We're at the bottom of the cycle here. We are low on the curve. Let's wait on that, because even if we get back into this, your your asymmetrical leverage, I guess it's okay, from here to here, but we're super extended. So do you see on this 5-minute chart, trend reached, or price reached the high time frame demand zone, right? In an extended trend, what does it want to do when the trend becomes extended? It wants to break above that 50 simple moving average to recalculate and do something. And that's what's going on here. All right. So we are coming back and we're hitting that point. No ADR checkpoints to be found, except right down here. All right. So it might hit here and go back down. We've got a very strong move here on momentum, and that's what it's picking up on. It's picking up on this momentum here, right? But it is pulling back into that 1-hour trend cloud with momentum to the downside in a downtrend. So I would wait for a little more confirmation on this before I would get into that, because now we've got a yellow candle here, and we are transitioning to the upside, right? 15-minute chart doesn't look too bad, right? We just rapidly pulled back to this area here. What's it going to do? I'd wait for that cycle indicator to turn red and then start looking at it. Yeah, I sure can. Absolutely. Scanner, right? Go to your scanner, Javier, and you can either just double click onto it, okay? And what you're going to do is scroll down, and you can take a screenshot of this 15-minute for your trend and 1 hour for your momentum. These parameters in 2024, this is on the new trade plan. The 15 and the 1 hour will give you the best TrendCloud signals early on. Okay, it actually is. This is working out better in the past few months. Okay, so I updated it. So just take a screenshot of that, and then you can also, if you want. We figured out, guys. I sent everybody. You should receive an email. I sent everybody. Gary and I figured this out yesterday. I can share my watch list with you. Okay, I can share my watch list with you. I did a little video on it, and I did a video on that. Let me grab the document, and I will post that in the chat right now. So if you're on Google, if you're in the Google chat, you will be able to see this. Let me grab it real quick for you guys. Hang on. There we go. Okay. I'm going to post this. There you go, guys. Okay, so that is the Google document with the updated trade plan. So Gary, you were asking for the trade plan there. It's on that. Now, save that document, because that document will update every quarter. Okay, I will update that document every quarter, and it will actually update on your end as well, because it's a Canva document. It's pretty cool. I also have some videos in that document there for you guys. I go over all of that, and I did send out an email to everybody. So that is the document that you guys should have. Okay. So make sure that you take a look at that and save it. Okay. Wow, wheat is ripping through that zone. See that? We are ripping through that zone. Where's this thing heading to? Maybe it just wants to go deeper into the trend cloud here. Okay. So far on the 1 hour chart, pulls back, hits the cloud, moves down. So we are getting a reaction off of this high time frame demand zone. Where could it be heading? Well, right here. Here's your trend cloud on the high time frame, right there. Okay. We've got right here a drop, base drop right there. So you can see where the overlap is. Okay. And we've got ADR checkpoint. All right. So if price gets back up to here, okay, and we are still and momentum is still strong to the downside, we can take this trade. Remember, wheat is also quite expensive. Let's take a look. Let's put some Fibonacci lines on here. Let's see, that would be from here to here. Fib line from there to there. And what do we have? Well, we've got that 382 retracement level running right through that sweet spot there. Let's jump on that. Let's take the trade right here at 382. We're going to sell one. Okay. And we're going to bring this. There's your $200 risk right there. What does that look like on the 15-minute chart? Let's take a look here. Okay, we don't have to go that high. 15-minute, what's on the 45-minute? Okay, so right in there, ADR. Why don't we put it right above that ADR checkpoint there, guys? And we can take a chance on wheat right there. If in fact it gets there today. So we can set that trade. Now, if it gets to here, all right, Frank, I will see you tomorrow. Sounds good. If it gets here, we will, we could get into this trade here. All right. We can get into this trade all the way back down to here. Right. So that's basically a 3-to-1, right? We're looking at a 3-to-1 reward. And the entry on wheat is right at the 50 simple moving average on that 1 hour chart. So we've got that trade set up. All right. Okay, guys. So that's it for now, guys. That is, we are 10:16. I like to keep these about an hour long. Otherwise, people start getting crazy. But that is the trade plan. Go over the trade plan. There's a bunch of other stuff in there for you to take a look at. And I also share with you the watch list in that document as well. So you've got in that document that you've got there now, you have this watch list, and I show you how to import it, okay? I show you exactly how to import everything. And you would do that right here. Import list, okay? And Gary, I think we were trying to figure out yesterday how to, like if you're on watch list here and you want to change, you want to rename this, you just go over to settings here, and there it is right there, rename. Okay. So go to the watch list, or go to the list that you want to change the name on, bring it up, and then you go over here, settings, and rename list right there. All right. Okay, guys. That's it for me. I will see you tomorrow. I will get in front of this earlier and start taking a look at those TrendCloud signals that are in the scanner and see if we can get into some trades, because this stuff is taking place earlier in the morning before the open, right around 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. That's when these 5-minute TrendCloud signals are forming and working out very well. So I'm going to jump on that for you tomorrow. Hey, Mariana. All right. Glad to see you. Good to see you. You are very welcome. All right. So that's it, guys. I will see you guys tomorrow. Happy trading.